Hey everyone, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I feel like I need to talk to you about something very important. Um, it's about a mistake, a terrible mistake that I made. Um, and the only good that I have been able to, take out of it is that I'm sure that there is a lesson in it for not just me, but hopefully for everyone and anyone watching this video. The mistake I wanted to, so that there's no worry throughout the story. I just wanted to say from the beginning of the story to let you know that it is about Moo, and Moo is here. He's right here, and he's fine and he's healthy, and excuse me, and as you see and as I said, he's totally okay. And this is just a huge mistake I made, guys. It really is. And I know that I'm going to make more of them. And I want to be as open with you as possible, as you allow me to. And I understand that there's going to be people out there who definitely will negatively judge me for this. And all I can say is this is the first time I've ever experienced this, the first time I've ever made this mistake. And I can assure you, well, I guess I can't promise you, but I'm rather certain I will never make it again. And if at all it sounds like I'm trying to defend myself throughout the story, that's not my goal. My goal, by any time it sounds like that, is to let you guys know that these things happen far too often. They happen all the time, and it's the first time it's happened to me. So I'll get right to it. Basically, a week ago, just a little over a week ago, last Sunday, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, I went to an animal shelter, went to a local animal shelter to drop off some Asher House Wellness CBD and to drop off some dog food. I was just doing a small, quick donation. I wasn't planning on staying very long. On my way out of the sanctuary, Moo is my heart dog. He's my right-hand man. He's always next to me, every car ride, everything. But because this was going to be a very quick trip, I was not planning on bringing him. However, he found a way to run after me, and he ran after the car. And it was foolish of me to bring him. I felt bad once he was at the car. Maybe it was laziness, but in my heart, it was really just I felt bad not letting him come with me. So I brought him with me. I got to the animal shelter. I left my car on with the windows closed. Not all of them, but there was a back window that was rather open, but not very much at all. My plan was to be in and out of the shelter, and I went into the shelter. I dropped off the CBD. Some people recognized me, which was very flattering, and I said hello. And then I, of course, saw a couple dogs that I fell in love with, and I did a video for them. And they had said they were talking to me that someone had just dropped off a dog and drove away. And when I got to my car, Moo was not there. It was a terrible, terrible feeling. Now, I just want you guys to know, especially for the haters on this one, I just want you to know there is nothing that anyone can say to make me feel worse than I already do, especially than I already did. I was devastated. I truly was. I was absolutely devastated. And I had learned that they had ran after Moo, and he went quite a ways away. And I asked him which direction he went, and I went in that direction. I called some friends, and we were looking everywhere for him. Now, this next part of the story is the most important part. And this is where I really believe a lot of you can learn from this. And the reason why I'm so confident that you can learn from this is because I really believe that the universe gives you signs that the hardest things that you go through are for a reason. I really believe that, especially if you accept that, which I do. The day after this happened, I was able to help someone, and I'm gonna tell you how. Now, I was looking everywhere for Moo. My team, Rebecca, put out something on, all these different avenues, whether it be Craigslist, Facebook, you name it. I can't think of them all, but 4 or 5 different outlets Rebecca used. But a couple of people, Rebecca included, gave me the number to a woman named Babs Fry. She's based out of San Diego. One of my favorite rescues, the Animal Pad, based out of San Diego, also gave me their phone number, gave me Babs' phone number. And she was very strict with me. And although she was very strict with me, she was very kind to my emotions. I was crying, I was freaking out, a lot of negative self-talk and a lot of negative, I was a wreck. And she had basically told me that everything I was doing in order to find Moo was wrong. Chasing after him, looking for him, everything like that. And she had told me that by running around, I was basically spreading my scent all over town. And it was going to make it harder for Moo to find me. And at one point, I even saw Moo. This was before I spoke to Babs Fry. At one point, I even saw Moo, and I was probably 50, maybe 100 yards away from him. And I said, "Moo," and he ran back away. He ran away. And I couldn't believe it. This dog doesn't leave my side, guys. Like, literally, he will not leave my side. And I just didn't understand. And Babs had explained to me that when he isn't ready to, it's hard, it's so hard to explain, because trust me, guys, if I was you and I'm hearing this story, it's like if you say the dog's name and you're the owner and he loves you and he feels safe around you, he's going to come to you. But luckily, Babs gave me so many examples of people who had their dogs their entire life, not just, 6, 7 months, how long I've had Moo, their entire life, but when they're out and free, they are just fully about, it's so hard to explain, but they don't respond to that. They don't respond whether they know you or not. And she basically said the best thing that I could do was to go back to the shelter where he had originally jumped out of the window, to go back to the shelter and wait for him there, and to tell everybody to stop running around looking for him, but to stay in one spot, to look out so we can see where he is. But for no one to approach him, no one to run after him, nothing. And for me, the best thing I could do is to stay put in the last place where he was. And she recommended that I sleep in my truck that night. And that's exactly what I was prepared to do. And she said, "I think he's going to come back to the truck." Everything Babs said to me, she predicted all the mistakes that I made, the mistakes that I had, instructed other people to do, to go look here, go look there. And it was awful, guys. It was truly just an awful experience. And I got to say, it's one of those things where I never thought it would happen to me. 5 years having the Asher House and rescuing dogs basically my entire life. Something like this has never happened to me. And it was very hard to forgive myself during the time that he was lost. But I really wanted you to know, what worked, what happened. And the biggest thing was that Babs kept telling me was to make sure that I'm managing people the right way. And so many times Moo tried to come back. I cannot tell you how many times Moo tried to come back to the shelter, but random people that were driving would see him and stop, and as soon as they would stop and get out, he would run back away. So to end it, I pulled up to the animal shelter and I just waited. And finally, it was very late. I had my pillow, and my friend Steve brought my pillow and my blanket. I put some meat out around the car. Babs instructed rotisserie chicken around the car so that he would smell it and smell me. And around 10:30 at night, I saw Moo, and he came right up to the truck and just jumped right in. And I was just bawling, It was just such a relief. I was so scared that I had lost him, but he found his way back to me. And so many different takeaways and so many different lessons. But, once your dog is, I cannot tell you how close Moo and I am. I mean, he's so close to me. He doesn't like the water, but when I paddleboard, he wants to be on the paddleboard. He's just he's like, him and I are like glue. But when they are out and when they're scared, it's not the same dog. Their instincts are all about survival and escaping any sort of predator. So I really hope that you can really listen to this next part, because this is the most important piece. If I hadn't spoken to Babs, I don't know what would have happened. I can't say we never would have found him or anything like that, but I know that that day would have went very differently, and I don't think I would have got him. Definitely not that night. I never would have prepared to sleep in my truck at the animal shelter. So the biggest lesson I want you to do is make sure before you freak out, before you definitely don't run after the dog, but get a hold of someone like Babs Fry. Call someone who is a professional, who can not only give you the right information that you need to get your dog back, but someone who can also keep you calm and make sure that you don't make any mistakes or emotional decisions. The big thing that she was doing well was keeping me calm and logical, and made sure that I wouldn't do anything without listening to her first. And if I would have listened to her from the beginning, I would have gotten him back much earlier on. I think this happened around 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m., and I didn't get him back till around 10 p.m., 10:30. So it was a big mistake. I acknowledge it. Like I said, I messed up, and it was a huge eye opener, and you know, I as much as I wish it didn't happen, I'm also glad, because what I wanted to say was the very next day, a rescue that I follow had a lost dog, and they were looking for help, and I told them to call Babs. I said, text her, call her, and they ended up getting the dog back. It happens all the time. And I don't say that to make it right for me, because it was wrong, but it was a mistake, one that I don't think I'll ever make again. And I hope that from my mistake, it could help anyone, the thousands of people that deal with it every day. Don't chase the dog. Make sure you have signs out everywhere to not chase the dog. Every time Moo wanted to come home, someone would end up chasing it away. Do not chase the dog. It is not the same dog. They are flight or fight. They're around. Sorry, I got a text. Especially if they're staying in the area, in the perimeter, then you don't want to chase them. You don't want people to chase them so many different times. Chase them away so many times that they eventually don't feel safe staying in that perimeter around where they last saw you. So I definitely won't make that mistake again. My intention was good. My intention was to visit a shelter, real quick, make a donation. I got distracted by some beautiful adoptable dogs and meeting people there, and I didn't want to be rude, and I made a mistake, and I definitely learned from it, and I'm hoping that from my mistake, no one else makes it as well. But it's not about not making the mistake, it's about being able to find the dog, getting the dog back, most importantly. So thanks for listening. A huge thank you to Babs Fry. I'm going to put her links to her Instagram and Facebook in the caption below. And, don't hesitate to reach out to her for advice if you need, because she really is the best at what she does. She truly is. And I'm just so happy that Moo is back and he's safe. And I also want to say that I'm really sorry to the animal shelter. that this happened at, for the inconvenience. I know without question it didn't make me look so good as an animal rescuer, and I'm sorry. You know, I have no excuses. I made a big mistake. It'll never happen again. And I still can't believe it, you know? It just really sucks. But again, I'm hoping that who is ever watching this, who experiences it, I'm hoping this video can help. So thank you guys. I love you, and hope you have a great week. Bye. Good night, or good day. It's nighttime here.